Scan data testing is super important. Scan tools are super important. Bidirectional testing, for example, allows you to take control of a component or a system without busting your knuckles. You're sitting in the front seat of a vehicle. It allows you to run manufacturer-specific software test programs you couldn't do otherwise. We can get diagnostic trouble codes, and I think that most people start here. We can look at scan data, and this is where we're going to evaluate what we see. We can do bidirectional testing, as we said. Look at the list to the left. It gets much more extensive. We can control fuel injectors. We can control oxygen sensor heaters. We can control the purge solenoid, as well as the VVT exhaust and intake phasers from the front seat of the car. We can do a cylinder power balance test. We can do the key on, engine off test. We can also look at each cylinder's contribution through a power balance test from the front seat of a vehicle. It doesn't get easier than that. Here we're doing an Evap test. That means we're not out on the road. We're sitting in the service bay and we push a button on a scan tool and we start a Evap test, and it goes through and gives us the values as it's performing the test, and then it gives us test results. If we pass, that's great. If not, it tells us why we failed, what part of the test we failed. Here we're retrieving diagnostic trouble codes from the second computer of the 20 computers on this vehicle with one push of the button. It takes a while, yeah, but so what? It's better than going into every module one at a time. Here we get a results of all that work, sitting there waiting in that car, getting exhausted while the computer tells the scan tool what trouble codes are in each module. You can see the list is very extensive. We can go into each module one at a time if we want to. When we're looking at scan data, that's where we're going to be evaluating. OBD2 Diagnostic Test Mode 3, good old PIDs, scan data. We can see so much in the scan data, and we have to evaluate it, all of it. For example, for this manifold absolute pressure sensor status, it says no fault bit, and it shows us 0. The same thing with the mass airflow status. This is telling us the PCM is happy with the electrical side of these sensors because it says no or 0. If it says 1 or yes, then you would test these sensors' electrical circuits. Here we have something that I personally cannot live without. Desired. Egr position desired in this case. When I'm looking at the Egr, what position should it be at any given engine load and speed? Well, the desired PID tells me exactly what it should be. Here we're looking at Pcm Internal Temperature. We've been pounding on PCMs looking for intermittent problems for a long time. Now, instead of pounding on it, we can see the computer's internal temperature. And then if it's too hot, we can pound on it and try to make an intermittent problem appear.